The Striped Ships, Chapter 10. But only 3 days later she was hastening joyfully out of the great gate between midday tasks and evening ones, slipping and sliding through thawing mud to seek out Wulfric at his books. Brother Cadwalla had spoken to Brother Alan. Brother Alan had said yes. She had not, it seemed, played the fool or tempted God's punishment. Clutching her ragged headrail around her shoulders, she turned into Church Street, St. Paul, and headed for the town. She was forced to flatten herself against the abbey wall by a company of mounted Norman knights and their hangers on, male and female, who were crowding their way toward the market on the other side of the street through the press of wheeled and foot traffic. Juliana watched them, wondering where their road might take them out of Canterbury, and thinking of Swain and his men, waiting somewhere to pick off ravens. The hunting would have been good the past month, and the danger to the hunters great. Rumors came back constantly these days of the fierce fighting in Wessex, where King William was harshly subduing Exeter, and replacements for the men he had lost, well armed like these, passed frequently through Canterbury riding west. Staring at their Norman backs and wishing them ill fortune, she was starting on her way when she caught sight of a female profile she knew well, one she had last seen, framed by the hood of a torn and stained man's mantle in Hastings Castle. It was now outlined, snub-nosed and saucy, against a headrail of fine white wool, draped over a mantle of crimson pinned with a silver brooch. As she watched, the dark eyes turned her way, and Ronwen saw her. "God's mercy, it's Chilly! Wait, don't run away, let me look at you." The Welsh maid, plainly bondsmaid no longer, spurred her mare out of the press and across the road to where Juliana stood. It was a fine mare, white as cream save for its mud-spattered legs, and it wore a handsome work-leather saddle. "So you did get away from that place alive, and all these miles to here, too. I gave you up, you know, a little know-nothing all alone." "I am not a know-nothing, nor was I alone. My brother was with me." "The big one, Swain." Ronwen's glance was running over her and missing very little. Juliana, conscious of her rags and straw-stuffed shoes, lifted her chin. "No, Wulfric." "The more praise to you, then. I'd have taken oath the dogs would get you. But what are you doing in Canterbury?" Yesterday, the humiliating answer would have been the same thing as I was doing at Hastings. But today she could raise her chin a trifle higher and say, "I am to help with the great embroidery at the Abbey while I am waiting for my mother." "And where is your mother and the little sister? They did not die in that fire, then?" "They did not. They are safe in Winchester with my uncle." "The Norman uncle, the Bogart! So he had his uses after all." Juliana disdained to answer, which produced Ronwen's old mocking but understanding laughter. "Come, I shouldn't tease you. I'm glad she's safe. And you too, Jilly. God knows we've had enough to bear without picking at each other. But I've come up in the world while you went down." "So I see. Did you find a Welsh elf's pot of gold?" "I found a Bogart of my own, little one. He was a knight of Hastings, a new-made landowner now. We're off to Oxford to take over his estates. Then, God help me, for he'll summon his lady from Normandy, and I'll be out. Still, he's made a free maid of me, and the mare is mine. No doubt I'll find another Bogart." "Normans! I wish you joy of them," said Juliana scornfully. "God's mercy, Jilly, did Saxons ever give me more than bondage and beatings?" "My father was a good master." "Well, Normans are everyone's master now, yours too. Wake up, little ninny. The world is as it is." Ronwen smiled and reined her creamy mare away toward the market. But Juliana, remembering the half-impatient care that Ronwen had always taken of her at Hastings, put a hand on her stirrup to stop her. "Beware of rebels, near the Weald," she said. Ronwen's dark glance met hers, and she nodded. "I will, then. My thanks, Jilly. God be with you." She nudged the mare and was soon lost in the crowd. Juliana went on more slowly toward the walls of Canterbury, with year-old memories sweeping over her. What had become of Marian, she wondered. She had not thought to ask. Very likely Ronwin would not know in any case, having got out as soon as she could and put the place from her mind. Was Hugo Mangebien still guard at the castle gates, still strutting about in that mantle embroidered with trolls and frogs? Juliana pulled her rags around her and straightened her shoulders. She might be doing the same tasks here as she was there, but here she did them for Saxon monks, not enemies. She passed into the town through Burr Gate, beneath St. Michael's tiny church, and along Burr Street to Iron Bar Lane and the lodgings of Brother Oddbald and his pupils. It was a low thatched wherein part house, part former stables. The latter, being half open to air and sky, was the part best lighted, and therefore served the boys as schoolroom, with mangers boarded over for desks. Passers-by could peep in past the courtyard, and the boys could peep out, unless they were blind to all but their scribbling. Juliana posted herself in her accustomed spot and waited impatiently, one eye on the lowering clouds and the other on Wulfric's red gold head, half visible behind a thatch support. In a moment he leaned back, stretching, glanced toward the lane and saw her. He was up in an instant, disappeared, and then reappeared in the stable doorway, and was soon leaping across the mud puddles toward her, already talking. Jilly, guess who I think I saw, coming home from morning mass. He was just riding into Mercery Lane, there by the Forum, and I yelled like a banshee. But Brother Oddbold made me hold my tongue, and by the time I'd explained, he was gone. I didn't see to where. But who? Not Ronwin. You said he. Then it was Lustwin, or one of Uncle Robert's. Ronwin? Who's Ronwin? It was Grimulf, Lord Alfgar's reeve, or his twin, I take my oath. Same bald pate and humped back, and I even thought his horse was that old dapple Chleric used to ride, but I only Grimholf. But then, Juliana broke off. But then nothing. Grimulf in Canterbury, if indeed it had been Grimulf, did not mean, as it once would have, that Lady Edwina was in Canterbury, or Averill, or Bernadette. In these scattered times it meant only that Wulfric had likely been mistaken. Many old men are bald and stooped, she said. Many horses are dappled, and Canterbury is a crossroads for all the world. I just saw Ronwin outside St. Augustine's market. Who is? Oh, that Welsh bondmaid. A free maid now, and layman to a Norman knight, riding a milk-white mare and dressed like an earl's lady, on her way to live on stolen Saxon lands, for a little while. Juliana swallowed her anger and waved the meeting into the past. I wish her no ill. May she prosper. Hark now, I have real news. I will soon be out of the kitchens. Eagerly she spilled out her story, and Wulfric's impatience to tell more of his own soon changed to startled attention. Do you mean the great embroidered hanging? The one Brother Alan is designing? You know of Brother Alan, then? Everyone knows of him, said Wulfric, in a tone as near to awe as she had ever heard him use. Brother Oddbold says no finer draughtsman has ever been known at Canterbury in 100 years, at Christ Church or at the Abbey, either one. He showed us a book once. Angels could draw no better. Juliana blinked, impressed by Wulfric's deep respect. The designs are lively, certainly. I have seen them, she added. I saw him, too, 3 days ago. He has hair like a black sheep's. He is half Norman. What matter if he is half troll, when he can draw like that? And you are to help in the work of his? Why should I not? Demanded Juliana. He must have needles and hands to use them, and mine are as skilled as many, more so than some working for him now, though I will only be a thread girl, she added, coming back abruptly to reality. But I will have 3 silver pennies each month, Wulfric. I can find my own food, and need not put Bridget to the task of stealing it for me. She smiled, remembering. I was ashamed to tell her after all her kindness, but she wished me Godspeed. Well, that is, she shouted, Good riddance, and commanded me to sleep under the table as before, to guard the pantry from the rats, she said. You will not do that. I will certainly not. Brother Cadwalla has found me another bed, at his kinsman's, Tolly the moneyer. There is one room in the attic they will let for a penny a month, and I may sup with the family if I scour the pots. I am to go there tomorrow. Yea, so good then. Wulfric was barely listening. Jilly, all the scripters are talking of that embroidery. It will be 70 eels long, maybe more. What? It is not then. I saw but a room's length, 10 ells or so it may be. I could not see, since it was half finished and rolled at the ends. But it is only begun. There will be other lengths, all sewn together when they are done. It will tell the whole story of Harold Godwinson, and the voyage to Normandy, and the oath that Sweyn spoke of. Yea, so, the oath. Juliana felt the familiar mutinous anger rising. That does not please me, to be part of a Norman lie. Jilly, it is a great work. It is an honor to be a part of it. My sister. He gazed at her as if he was trying to imagine it, a look half envious, half disbelieving. I will boast of that to the other boys. I need not say you are only the thread girl, he added practically. I would gladly be sweeping maid so long as I have the pennies, or I would not then. I wish to wind the wool for that embroidery, except for the part about the oath. But brother Alon would design it so, being half Norman. Huh? Half Norman or full Saxon. He will design it as he is told, I have no doubt. But the abbot would not have him tell a Norman tale. Wulfric stared at her for a moment, and then his expression changed to a strange one, barely tinged with mischief. Jilly, do you not know who commanded this great hanging? Why, the abbot, I suppose, Father Elsig of St. Augustine's. Oh, it is not so. It is not even meant for St. Augustine's, but for a big church, a building now in Normandy, in Bayeux. Bayeux? Yes, where Odo is bishop. Our own Bishop Odo, Earl of Kent. Wulfric's rueful eyes met hers, and he shrugged. Lord Devil is brother Alon's master, and now he is yours. For an instant Juliana stood dumbstruck. No, she gasped. I will not have it. I'll not do it. I'll go back to the kitchens. What? That is fool's talk. I should not have told you, Wulfric said penitently. I'd have found out sooner or later. Oh, but Wolf, I cannot go back to Bridget. The cook would never allow it. Nor would I, eating scraps and sleeping on the floor. But what else am I to do? What you wish to do, ninny. Live at Tolly the Moneyers and work on the great hanging, and forget who is master. Juliana turned on him hotly. How could I forget that? What would Sweyn say? Sweyn is not here to say anything, Wulfric pointed out dryly. Nor did he say much helpful when he had the chance. Will you let Lord Devil stop you doing what you wish? That was another way of looking at it, indeed. I will not then, Juliana flashed back. No Norman shall say me yea or nay if I can prevent it, she finished lamely. But, Wolf, I have had Norman masters, as you have not. Brother Alon is not like that. As for Lord Devil, I doubt you will ever set eyes on him yourself. The abbey bell pealed through the cold air, sounding nones, causing both to jump and Wulfric to cast a quick glance over his shoulder. Courage, Jilly, he said roughly. I wished for Canterbury, remember? And here I am. What you did for me, you can do for yourself. God be with you. And he was gone. She stood a moment staring unseeing at the wintry lane, rebellious, helpless, with the deep bell and Ronwen's parting words echoing bitterly in her ears. The world is as it is. Then, huddling her headrail about her, she started back toward the abbey to help Bridget one last time form the loaves for supper. The cook had decreed that morning must see her gone. He had shown mercy to let her stay so long. Tomorrow, whoever was master, she would wind the wool. She must not think of Sweyn or Odo. She must think only of courage and of thread.